So we're doing something today I like. I actually genuinely like this because it's not that hard. And my favorite thing in math is things that look scary and are actually easy. Like genuinely, that's my favorite thing. It's like, oh my God, that looks so hard. It's kind of why I love logs, because logs, girls are ready? Logs look really hard and scary, but they're super, super easy. And this is also, here's what we're heading to tonight. We're looking at a problem at the end that looks like, one more, this. We're going to graph that in like in a minute, like that looks terrifying. It's like, what the holy hell is that? But by the end of the period, you'll be like, oh my God, that's so easy. So here's what. I have this really obnoxious friend named Taylor, and she thinks she can sing, but she really can't. And she's really poor, so she's always looking for money. So she comes to my house and she says, Dana, if you bring some people in to your house, I'll sing for them. And I'm like, sure, whatever. And she goes, can we charge money? And I'm like, no one's going to pay to hear you sing, you greedy thing. And she goes, come on, like $10 a person. I'm like, fine, I'll do $10 a person. And I go, but eventually I want a deal. Like if I can scrape up more than 10 people, I want a deal. And so my friend Taylor, greedy person that she is, says, okay, anything over 10, I'll charge a straight 110 bucks. I'm like, cool, we'll do that. And she goes, so maybe we can have like 50 or 60 people? And I said, we can't, Taylor, my house only holds like 25. So here's what this looks like. So Taylor comes, no one comes. She's at my house alone. She gets no money, right? And she's got one person, two people, three people, whatever. And so this is how much money she gets. So she gets to here, 100 bucks and 10 people. And then the minute we have one more person come in, it jumps to, she's going to get a flat rate at that point. So at that point, she's at 10, but the minute she's anything over that, it's a flat rate. And it doesn't go on forever, because once I'm at 25, I'm cutting it off. I'm like, Taylor, that's it. And that's genuinely what the graph of the story that I just said is. That's what it is. Because here's what's up. For my seniors who are about to go off to the wild world next year and become business majors or psychology majors or sociology majors, you're not going to have graphs that just look like this. Ooh, they go up like this. They don't. Like, life doesn't work that way. Life is weird and messy, and weird stuff happens, and you get deals, or you don't get deals, or you have a stopping place. Or, for example, here, like, I don't have ghost people coming to my house where Taylor's going to be in my house and so scared that she's going to pay me money. Like, that doesn't happen. So in real life, this is why I like this stuff so much, we have lots of little pieces put together. And when we take a function and we have lots of little parts, the name of that is called a piecewise function. And a piecewise function is a big function made of little functions. Are you ready to rock and roll with this? So we're going to talk about how to graph them today and then how to evaluate them tomorrow. But before we do that, if you would like, one, you need something that's erasable. So if you don't have a pencil with an eraser, I brought some. Just please give me back my pencil. And I like a highlighter on this. You do you. And if you want a straight edge, because I had a lot of people who were like, I'd like a nice graph. It's all over on my magical yonder desk. So if you want to grab anything, I will stop talking for a hot minute if you want to do that. You're not going to worry about that for now. So here's our goal on this first problem. You don't really have to do much. I'm just going to show you where it all comes from. So this is the problem, and it looks really scary and weird. And this is the answer, right? So I'm going to explain what's happening here. So what's happening is that we have two functions locked together, two little baby functions making a big function. So the first thing I want you to notice is that this is terrifying looking for us. We hate this action. We hate that. That looks scary. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that that's just y. That's just y. That's all it is. We call it g of x because that's a way to name it, right? But it's just y. And right now you're like 3, then this, and 2, then this. What the hell does that mean? Let's rewrite this as two little baby functions. We got y equals 3. That's not scary. And y equals -2. Honest to God, that's not scary. That's not scary. So if I was going to graph y equals 3, here's what I would do. I would think to myself in my little thinky brain, Miss T said those are heartbreak problems, and I am going to go to the y line at 3, and I'm going to put a little heart, and I'm going to break that heart. And I have graphed y equals 3. Yay for me. Nice and easy. And then I've got y equals -2. And you're like, light work, Miss T. I'm going to go to -2, break a little heart, and break the heart. And you're like, why, Miss T, is that not the answer? Like, why isn't that the answer? Because we know that the definition of function is that they can't overlap. Is this the answer? Is this the answer? I don't know. They're overlapping. So here's what I need to know. I need to know at some part, this is what I need to look at. And at some part, this is what I need to look at. So all of these problems are going to have a strange little barrier. And the barrier is found right here. So what I'd like you to do with your little pencil, or if you want to have a nice little highlighter, I would like you to highlight x at -4. So I'm going to go ahead and take yellow. I'm going to go to -4, and I'm going to go like this. That is my barrier on this problem. And what it's saying is, it's a domain line, right? Domain. And it's saying that for this guy right here, this 3 guy, I want all of the stuff this way. And how do I know it's this way? It's x is less than -4. Look, the arrow is pointing this way. I swear to God, it's as easy as that. So I go to -4 and I'm like, hey, I like this stuff, but I don't like this stuff. Because that's what it tells me. It wants me just to have this stuff. And then I go to this guy and feel like, oh, at -4, the bottom guy wants it this way. How do I know? Look, it's pointing that way. I swear to God, it's so smart. So that means I like this stuff. I don't like this stuff. Now it's looking more like it's supposed to look. Now we have one last piece to talk about. Now I am going to fill this in right now, and we're going to talk about it. Because the question is, what happens right at -4? And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to decide that one person is going to get to keep -4 and one person isn't. And here's my weird Mrs. Tarantino way, because I'm going to walk around and say this tomorrow, who gets the dog? Many times, many of you, you're going to come back and visit me because this is going to happen to you. You're going to meet someone who you love out of college. You're going to finish college or finish getting trade school, whatever you've done. You meet someone, and you know what? You fall in love with them. You fall in love with them. They may not be the love of your life, but they're the love of right now. And you decide to get a place together. Yay, I'm fine with all that. This is all great. But often what you're going to do is you're going to also, along with getting an apartment together, you're going to want to get a pet. Happens all the time. Let's get a dog together. Let's get a cat together. And there's a little bit of an issue with that. And here's the issue. When you break up with someone and you have kids, you share the kids. But when you break up with someone and you have a pet, someone gets to keep the damn pet, and the other person's heart is empty. So what I'm asking you to do is we're going to look at this. Someone is going to get to keep the -4, and someone's heart will be empty. And how do you decide? You decide right here. If it's got a line underneath, it keeps the -4. He keeps the dog. And what happens to the other person? Their heart is empty because they had to give the dog to the person they hate now. So that stupid, I'm covering my mic, that stupid bitchy girl that you shouldn't have been with, and now she keeps your cat. So your heart is broken. So my advice is, live your life. Be careful who you buy a pet. Okay, we got it? That's piecewise. Let's try one. Are you ready? Now we're going to do it now. We're ready to do it. We got it. Okay, step 1. Rewrite this in a way that's not scary. So let's come over here and say y equals -2x plus 3 and y equals x minus 2. Why did I do that? Because that's not scary. That's nice and easy. Step 2, decide where your boundary is going to be, because there's going to be a barrier there. So with your pencil lightly, it's not really part of your graph. It's just there to help you put in that boundary. Where is it on this problem? It's right here at 1. So I am going to use the yellow thing. I'm going to draw it right here. You guys cool with that? Okay. That's step 2. Step 3. Let's graph one of these guys. Let's start with this guy. Nice and easy. Start at 3, go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So easy, not even scary. You're like, Miss T, light work. We're going to start at 3. We're going to go up 2 over 1 in the negative direction. And if you want to go down through 2 over 1 in the positive, whatever works for you, draw it in nicely. Are we good? If you want to get a ruler, you can. Now, before we go further, we're going to stop and think, part of my graph I want and part of my graph I don't want. So here's what it tells you. On this guy, I want all the stuff less than 1. I want all of the stuff over here. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is get right to that barrier and think, I don't want you. I'm getting rid of that stuff. And I'm going to put, that should be a nice line there. I was off a little on my graphic. There we go. Is everybody cool with that? Did I lose anybody? Right? How do I know I went that way? Because the arrow pointed this way. So let's do the next one. Let's start at -2. The slope is, look what I'm going to do because I'm a baby. 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Nice and easy. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Here's where he looks like. Put him in. I dotted him up here because I draw crappy when I draw a straight line. Okay. But I don't want all of him. I only want part of him. So I'm going to go to my boundary. Here's my boundary. I don't want the little stuff. I want this way. How do I know? Because it's pointing in that direction. So I am going to erase, this is why you need a pencil with an eraser, all of this stuff. So if you've got something that looks like this, you're looking pretty good. And you have one last step. Someone gets to keep the 1 and someone's heart is broken. It's empty. So decide who keeps the dog, who has the empty heart. How do I know? I look at that. So it looks like this dude keeps the dog. This dude, empty heart. Oh, sad. Lovely. He's hacking over there. Do you need to keep this in? You don't? Like that's the actual answer? That's it? What do you think? Easy? Light work? Told you, I like these. I like these. You guys ready to try one on your own while I walk around? You are. Here we go. Not that one. That's too easy. There we go. There we go. Good try. I like that there are some people just jumped ahead and they've done all the examples, and it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that one. Like, oh, love that for me. Oh, that's hard. I'm going to keep walking, because I think that, you know, we've established this thing. But it's hard for me to know that you're invading here.
No, that's
Correct. And the arrow points in the direction it goes. It's that straightforward. Again, if that's scary to you, rewrite it like this. Y equals -2/1. Oh, why is that off? -2/1, x plus 4, and y equals 1/1, x plus 2. Right? Did we already do this? We didn't do this one. I've just done it like 4 times. Okay, I'm going to throw in my barrier here at 2. There it is. Feel like I didn't even hit anything. There he is. So I'm ready to graph. I'm going to start with that top one. I'm going to start at 4. I'm going to go up 2/1, and I'm going to go down 2/1, down 2/1. I usually graph dots so I hit the barrier. To be honest, that's how I do it. So you do you. I'm going to do one more. Here's what my graph looks like. And if I was doing it with you guys on paper, I would draw the whole thing in and then erase what I don't need. It's just easier for me to do that. And I should have hit right here. Okay, on the next one, I'm going to start up at 2. I'm going to do in purple. I'm going to start up at 2, and he's going to go up 1/1. Up 1/1, up 1/1. So if I graphed him in, he's going to go like this, but I don't want the bottom stuff. I want him this way. So I erase anything over here. Okay, I got one last thing to do. Someone gets the dog and someone has an open heart, an open, empty heart. And it looks like this guy gets the dog. Yay for him. This guy does not. Can I see a wiggle of fingers of my friends who did okay? We got one last one, and I'm going to pass out your homework while you're doing it. Guess what? You can have 3 barriers. So easy. You're going to have stuff on this one. Check this out. If I have a barrier here at -3 and a barrier at 1, you're going to have stuff that's over here. You're going to have stuff that's in the middle, and you're going to have stuff that's on that side. Does that make sense? So this stuff will be in the middle, this stuff will be over here, this stuff will be over here. So, as always, you're trying this one. What I'm going to do is, I'll be honest, that 5 freaks me out when it's just 5. So I write it y equals 5, y equals -3, and y equals 1/1, x minus 2. I just have an easier time looking at it. Again, I love stuff that looks hard. Like, I'm not going to lie, that was terrifying. But it's really, it's light work. It's light work. No, I'm not knowing. Can I know? I know. I'm ready not to be tired on these, right? And I think that's going to sound like I'm getting like my sea legs, but right now every weekend is just.
You'll know. How do you graph 5?
So it's in the middle. It's in the middle.
No one.
Yeah, that's it.
No one. Hey, not
and then we'll decide who gets the dog, right?
Yeah, who got that?
There's me.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
The dog on there, Tom?
Is that what you did?
How I got it, you have to be okay with that? No. I'm serious.
Okay, we're about ready to do this. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at it. And then hopefully we can do it. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to start with this dude. It's y equals 5, the heartbreak problem. Yay, love that for me. We're going to go to y equals 5, put a little heart. Normally I would do this, but I only want him on the very edge. I want him this way. So I'm getting rid of all of this, right? All of that goes. Now I'm going to say y equals -3. So I'm going to go to y equals -3, put my little heart. Normally it would go like this, but he is in the middle. He's between -3 and 1. That's what this means. Less than 1, bigger than -3, which tells me get rid of this and get rid of this. And finally, the last one, I'm going to just graph like normal. It is starting at -2, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. He's going to look something like this. But I don't want him in that middle area. I'm already using that middle area. So I'm going to get rid of the middle area. He's going to go from here to here. I have one last thing to decide. Who gets the pets? So I'm going to start up here. Do you know what this guy gets? Nothing. He gets no pets at all. So at this guy, open, sad heart, empty heart. But on this guy, he gets the -3. Yay for him. But apparently he's been cheating on you, and he gets to keep the cat, but he doesn't get to keep the dog with the other chick that he's seeing. That's why you broke up with him, because he's cheating on you, because he's an asshole. And the other girl also is pretty mad, and she's keeping the dog. So here we go. See, math is real life. You're welcome. I've saved your life. I've made you have a good decision. You have 6 problems. They're very easy. You know what I did? I did that little flippy thing, so you can take your answers. I had someone in my other class like, I don't understand the back. And I thought, you shouldn't be in pre-calc. Those are answers. So there you go. That's it. I'm done for the day. Yeah, today. Yeah.